One of the most vital things when it comes to gym retention is community. People come for the results, but they stay for the group. And it's super important that we're constantly nurturing this. And we can do this in several different ways. One of my favorite ways to do it is to actually have a community group where people can connect outside of their workouts. You can do this in various different platforms. So one of my favorites is actually a system called LeadFlow. You can build an entire community group platform, kind of like Facebook groups, Circle, or School, inside of one place where all of your community can go and connect with one another without providing extra friction or distractions like other social media platforms. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can build it out, what it looks like, and whether or not you should bother doing it. What we're looking at here is actually a community group built inside of LeadFlow. And if you're not familiar with what LeadFlow is, it's actually a platform that's designed to help gym owners get more leads, keep more leads, and nurture them into becoming more clients. If you want a 30-day trial of this, you can actually click the link in the description and give it a shot for yourself. I'll also hop on a call to make sure you get it up and running perfectly. Now, as for the community group, there's a couple things I do want you to be aware of. They are amazing and powerful platforms. However, they do require a little bit of work. If you're not going to actually make the community group a part of your onboarding process and a part of your culture, honestly, you're wasting your time. So many people try to do things like this and think they just don't work at all because no one ends up engaging. But if you don't train people early on that this is a requirement of your community, then they're just going to think it's another tool or another burden that they're placed with. So some things that we do to make sure people know that this is a requirement is, one, when they join the gym, part of their onboarding is we let them know that they're required to post 3 times a week into the community group. Now, you can do this in various different ways, but the way we do that is having themed days. We have Motivational Monday, Bright Spot Friday, and most importantly, Wacky Wednesday. Those always get the most engagements because we love to laugh. And on top of that, we make it known that whenever someone joins the community, we expect people to welcome them and actually make posts. This is one option that you can use, is using a community group like this. There's also other platforms such as Trainerize, where you can have just a group text platform where people can go in and talk in one spot. I really enjoy this though because it gives a lot more functionality and flexibility. Some other things to consider on whether or not you should put the effort into building this is this something that you're going to be willing to promote? And on top of that, is this something that's going to add on top of another software your clients have to use? If your clients already have to use an app such as Trainerize, like My Systems does, or they have MindBody or something that you provide their workouts on that already has a way for you to connect them, I don't actually recommend doing this. And I'll be the first one to tell you that it will just end up adding more friction. You only want to use this if you don't already have some form of communication platform that your clients are using regularly, or they don't already have an app that they're required to use to take on your program. So with that being said, and you don't fall into one of those categories, let's go ahead and take a quick tour of this so you can see the power of this community group. This one is actually just a test group that I built really fast. I literally built it in less than 10 minutes. So this took no time at all. I definitely recommend spending a little more time to make sure it looks nice. And I'm going to walk you through how I did that in just a moment. So inside of here, you're going to see the main platform hub. This is the discussion section. This is where people can actually make posts, talk, go live, and put any kind of questions. Something else you can use that's really powerful, if you're going to be running a large group platform and you don't want people to send individual messages to your coaches all the time because they're in large group, you can actually have it required that if they have a question, they have to post it in discussions to get it answered. This is something that I'm a big advocate of because I feel like semi-private coaching and one-on-one coaching, that kind of level of access where you can message your coach directly, should be reserved for that. And then for large group coaching, it should be group focused. So they have to actually post in a community or in a group chat to actually get their questions answered, to make it a little bit more of a distinguishing factor between the two. And this makes it super easy to do because you can just hop in here and make posts. You can make the title whatever you want. For example, I'm just going to say, how do I post things? And then you can make the description whatever you need it to be. How do you post things? And you can add in images, GIFs, videos, whatever you want it to be. And then you get to pick where you want this to be posts. Now, I'm going to actually walk you through that next. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this post just so you can see what it looks like here whenever something is published. Now, you'll notice that there's these different categories here. Inside of these different categories, you can basically make different channels for communication. Typically, you want one for general, where people can just post whatever they want. or ask questions. You also can have segregated channels for like food and workouts or announcements, which is super important because if you're going to be doing events or you need to send mass communication, another good strategy with groups like this is to make sure people know that you will let them know about it in the group. So for example, if you're going to be doing a party, let them know you will only find the details to that party in the group. So they have to go to it to actually find them in the announcement tabs. It's also good if you ever have to have massive closures or things along those lines, you can post it in the group here. Now, there's also other benefits of this as well. For example, you can go to the learning section and provide courses for your clients. This is something that's super useful and actually really beneficial. You can put your entire nutrition course in here, or you can even use this in a subtle way to build out workouts. For example, I made this full body one. I'll admit it looks really ugly right now because I didn't customize it. I'll show you how you can do all that stuff here in a minute. But you can basically have them click on this. They can choose day one. You can upload a video to show them what the workouts are and what the exercises are, and you can list out what the exercises and workouts you want them to do with the reps and things along that underneath it, which is very useful if you want to be able to provide extra workouts for outside of the gym, or if you just want some run challenges or things along those lines. Another additional benefit to this is the events section. You can have one spot for all of your calendars. Now, I'm a huge advocate for community events and challenges. This is something I run all the time in my gyms. We're constantly having parties, constantly having excuses for people to hang out. And this is a great place where you can put all of them in one central location so that everyone knows when something's coming up. Because you want them to be aware that the next event's coming up so they have something to look forward to, and increases retention a lot. So you can have this one central location where you post all of your events, and you can even do live events. Like for example, if you wanted, or live video events, for example, if you want to do like a mass presentation or a mass launch of a product and you want to do it online because you can't get a lot of people in house, you can do it online live straight through the platform, which is really nice. Another benefit of this is it actually has a leaderboard, and this is solely based on communication and engagement. So you can set up different prizes, different unlocks, and different kind of benefits to members for leveling up inside the platform. And the way they level up in the platform is actually by engaging in the platform. It's actually got an incentive gamification inside of it to get your members to actually engage with one another so they can get goodies. For example, some things that we've offered in the past, if we've offered 50% off of supplements if you reach level 3, we've offered a one-time free shirt, things like that, whenever you reach these different levels. If you reach level 9, I've even gone as far as giving someone an entire free month at my gym if they reach level 9 because they have to engage a lot to get there. So this is a really good way to incentivize people to actually get into the community and get even more hooked with the engagement and the atmosphere of your gym. Now, members is pretty cool because you get to see all your members in here and give them different rankings, just like in any group. This platform does actually allow individual messaging, so you can click on a person and send them a direct message, which is kind of nice and super useful for your personal trainers if they want to connect to their one-on-one clients. And you can turn that feature on and off, which is super nice. Now, as far as the About section, this is what they'll see whenever they get here. You can upload any information about your gym in here and give a description of your gym right in this one section. In the chat, this is what I was talking about where they can talk one-on-one with people. So this is a rundown of basically everything you're going to see inside of the community group. And one of my favorite parts about this whole thing is it does allow a very unified position for everyone to connect. And there's an app associated with this too. It's called the Go Collab app. You can also custom brand that if that's something you're interested in. It is an additional cost, but it is an option. And it will allow your gym members to access the community on the go. Now, if this is something you want to build out, it's actually very easy to do. It took next to no time at all. So I'm actually going to build one from scratch so you know exactly how to do it. So I built this inside of LeadFlow. And all I had to do was go to the membership section here on the menu. From there, all I have to do is go to communities and then groups. Inside of groups, I'm going to hit create group, and I'm going to name the group whatever I want it to be. I'm going to say video test for this example, just because it will make my life a little bit easier here. From here, I can give a description. Now, keep in mind, once you build this group, you can actually change the description, all of that stuff inside the settings. It's super easy to do. So I recommend not spending a lot of time on this. I recommend just getting it off the ground. So I'm just going to say it's a test, which is good enough for now. From here, you can add in any kind of images you want, which again, these can be changed at any time once you've made the group. I'm going to go ahead and choose, so it's got to be 16 by 16, which is basically an Instagram picture. So I'm going to choose that one, and then a 16 by 9. So I'm going to choose this 16 by 9 one and finish it off with the flavor con, which has to be a 16 by 16 or a 1 by 1 again. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that. So basically Instagram Square and then YouTube video formats are what it's asking for here. From here, I just hit create group. So it's going to load for just a quick second here. And then it's going to actually take me into the group and it's going to have me log in as a person. So I made this group. It looks exactly like the other one. I should have chose different images to separate the two, but it is the group and you can see it here. This is exactly where it takes you. It might have you log in and make a profile if it's your first time. Now, once I get here, I can go to settings and I can change anything I want to. So I'm going to say this is test group 2. And then I can say it really is a test. Now from here, I can also choose if I want this to be a public or private group. And that just means if someone else finds it, can they actually see what's going on inside of it? And I always prefer private groups personally, because I want to have an air of mystery. Then after that, I can choose subscription. So the cool thing about this is you can actually choose to make this free, or you can choose to make this paid. That's completely up to you on how you want to do that, but it's something that you can offer. You can also make it where it's paid for non-members and then free for members. That's completely up to you just by adding price and choosing what you want to put in here. You can set up a newsletter. So this is how often they're going to get information about this particular platform you're using. And it'll just basically say like so-and-so's posted this or so-and-so's posted that. Then underneath branding, this is where you can change all those things I was just telling you about as far as the images go. And you can even go to advanced and change some really advanced stuff if you want to. Like if you know anything about coding, you can put it in here. I don't, so I don't. Next is theme, and this is really cool because you can customize the theme to match your brand a little bit better. So there's a bunch of different options in here, and you can even choose between light and dark mode. I always choose dark because dark just looks better in my opinion. From there, you can also add membership questions. So if you want people to answer questions before they can join the group, you can do that right here. Next is going to be the gamification that I was telling you about. This is where you can set up how they actually earn points. So for example, you can change the name of the levels. So you can name these something fancy and on brand for you. And then for rewards, you can actually add rewards. So whenever people reach level 5 or level 6 or whatever it is, they can actually get different kinds of benefits. So I'm actually going to just copy what they said here, 10% off, and then hit save. I have to put the description, get 10% off, and then hit save. Once I have this here, I can add as many of these as I want. I can add these to the different levels on the platform here. So that's super useful. And then the rest of these are just links and things along those lines. So then I'm just going to exit out of here real quick because that's basically all there is to see in there. And then I also want to show you how you can add in different kinds of courses. So the courses are actually built outside of the community group and imported into the group. So if you have multiple groups, you can build a course once and put it in all of them. But building the course is actually really simple. And you can do that inside of LeadFlow by going to courses and then going to products. And inside of product, all you have to do is hit create product and then start from scratch. For start from scratch, you can choose any of these. I always choose build your own and then just change the name. I'm just going to say test 2 or test 2. Just like that. From here, you can actually build out the course and make it as detailed or as customized as you want. You can go to customize and change the backgrounds and the colors of everything and use different templates if you want to. There's a lot of different templates to choose from. So there's a lot of different offers. I'm going to go ahead and choose one of these templates to make it my life a little bit easier. And let's go ahead and actually, I'm just going to stick with the basic one and just use that one because I like it. And then from there, I can add in different products and lessons. This is just giving you an idea of what it looks like. So from here, I can actually change the theme. So theme settings, I can change the background of this image right here and basically change all the text on the screen in this little bubble here. I'm going to leave it alone for now just because it's just a demo. But from here, I can go ahead and go back to my products, go back into the thing I was just building, and this is where I can build out the different lessons. So the lessons are built into categories, and each category can have as many lessons in them as you want. So basically you can have like 5 categories and then have 6 lessons inside of each of those categories. That's completely up to you. I'm just going to give you an example of what this looks like. I'm going to do week 2, act like I'm building a workout. You can put a description here if you want to. And then I'm just going to hit save to make sure it saves. This is where you can add the custom thumbnail for the course. So if you want to add any kind of thumbnails or images, you just have to upload them onto here. And then I'm going to actually change the content inside the lessons. So this is where you can upload a video or just audio, completely up to you. You can change the title. So we can say it's going to be day 1 of the workout. And this is where you can type in all the information about the workout and change the image here so that it doesn't look super boring. For the sake of this, I'm going to just move on because I don't want to bore you with trying to find all these images. I recommend Canva if you need to make some images, but it's completely up to you. So this is where you can build all of that out and give details on what they're going to be doing on that day. Once we have this built and it's made, we're going to go ahead and hit go back and back to products. And you're going to see that it's right here. So we're good to go. From here, we can just go back to our community, which I'm going to go to this one, and we can hit add course. When you go to course, you can hit this drop down and you'll see the different courses that you have available. I might have to refresh. Go. And then boom, you'll see the test 2, which is the course I just made. You can choose this to be an unlock. So if this is something you want members to have to unlock to get access to by reaching like level 4, level 5, whatever it is, then you can do that. They can also buy it. So this is a great way to sell single programs if you want to. You can have it unlock over time. So you might make it where they have to be a member for X amount of time before they get access to this, or you can choose to make it through a private channel. So if you want to have a private channel just for like your semi-private coaching clients, you can make that channel private and then make it where only they have access to this course. Super useful and a good way to like imply more benefits to different packages that you offer at your gym. So from here, I'm just going to hit add course, and you'll see just like at the beginning of this, there is the course. So this is basically a rundown of everything and all the different options you have available for you inside of LeadFlow. So there you have it. That was a quick rundown of the community groups function. Having a community group in your gym is absolutely vital. And it's one of the things that I recommend for anyone who's interested in increasing retention and making it feel like more of a community. And I also recommend doing things like member events and challenges, which I'm actually going to make a full video on, and you can find that in the description. You can also have an added benefit to this where you can add the sign-in link to this community group to your website to increase more people going to your website. And more traffic's always better. I also made a detailed breakdown of how you can increase conversions of people who go to your website. By watching this video right here, you'll learn all 5 mistakes so that you can actually get more leads from your website and 5x the amount of traffic you're getting.